Oh, we're back.
Oh, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Twitching UpStream, which is an amazing show that we have created. And it is like an offshoot of one of our other shows that we have created. And that show is called Talking UpStream. And what we do on that show is us, Some Nobodies, Dylan, my friend over here, myself, Zach Wiseman.
I waved and my hand disappeared into the light.
Oh, yeah. We put that weird green screen on you, so who knows? And also your hand is slightly green for some reason, so that's weird. But anyway, what we do on Talking UpStream is we interview creators of things. We interview people that have created TV shows, movies, books, podcasts, and we kind of get their process on how they create stuff and then kind of with them create something new. We didn't want to keep doing that because we didn't want to keep making up more stuff and not actually doing things with it. So we decided to have this weird offshoot show called Twitching UpStream, where we do this live version of that, where we would take one of the ideas that we had and we would really focus in on it. We'd hone in on the details and kind of show anyone who cares really why we doing this, how we do it, the process that we do it, and that's it. And that's really in a tugboat. That's a I'm trying to start like new phrases here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
So that
be the change you want to see in the podcast world.
In a tugboat, that's what Some Nobodies does. We are just content creators, and we have a live show because we want to get your input. We make up a lot of weird stuff, and some of our stuff is not very funny. Like that earlier thing I said about being on the road, which I thought was the same, but it's not. So at any time, if you have any kind of comments or suggestions as to what we're doing, how the story's going, anything at all, really, throw them down in the comments. And while you're doing it, why don't you send us like a like or a subscribe?
Yeah,
We'd appreciate it. Before we get down into the creation part of what we're doing, I always have some kind of weird BS to go through. I like to get people, in case people are late to the stream or whatever, give them some time, but also give us something really just to chat about and get our brains churning. Usually I have some nerd news, and obviously Disney Plus put out a whole bunch of really cool stuff, and I suggest checking all that out, and I'm not going to talk about any of it. I have a quiz, kind of, that I wanted to throw at Dylan. I wanted to get his idea on fights, but fights that are from the same actor. Because as we now know, since the MCU is so big and Nerdverse is so big, that now actors have played multiple people that are all superheroes, and due to ego and pride, I wanted to get your opinion on how some of these fights would turn out.
Okay.
So anytime if you have any ideas on how these fights will work out, throw them up in the chat. But here we go. First, now, Ryan Reynolds, clearly. Now, do you think Deadpool or Green Lantern, who'd win in a fight?
Is the fight to the death or to defeat?
Fight is to defeat.
I would say first inclination is Green Lantern, because you can just imprison Deadpool and put him in the sun.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
Doesn't have to kill him; just put him in the sun. He can't get out.
Now, technically, he wouldn't be able. Would he be able to regenerate with that? Because it would melt his atoms, I think.
If it, I don't. Can Deadpool recover from complete and total vaporization? I don't know.
Yeah,
it depends on the writer, I suppose.
That's fair.
I don't see how his like meta knowledge would get him out of there unless he paints himself yellow, because he knows like back in the day your weakness used to be the color yellow. So Deadpool covers himself in yellow paint, maybe. Yeah, because for the most part, Deadpool is a close encounter, a combatant. Like, he has guns, but it's more his the fact that he can't die, his healing power, and his, I guess, sword ability. So, all right, round one goes to Green Lantern. Cool. All right, next we have the amazing Chris Evans. So, Human Torch or Captain America? this feels like one of those where the cop-out answer would be like, they'd fight and then realize they're not so different. And I don't mean that because they're playing the same actor. I'd say probably Captain America, only because he's probably at this point more of a premier character, and I think a win going to Captain America would be better for whatever hypothetical fight you're pitching.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got fire, but he's got the shield. He can throw the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And Human Torch, he can get super hot, right?
Real hot.
But his heat doesn't necessarily follow actual physics, so he couldn't, like I'm thinking, what if he flew like 30 feet above Captain America and just heated up?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually Captain America dies of heat exhaustion?
Yeah.
After 30 years because he's superhuman?
Just sauna him right to death.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess.
Right.
So like 50-50.
All right. So that one's
maybe
in it.
60-40 Captain America.
60-40 Cap. All right, next. Nick Fury or Frozone?
Is Nick Fury confirmed to have no powers, or is this like retired super soldier experiment Nick Fury?
I guess Pinnacle Nick Fury, in
I
your
guess
opinion?
it's MCU Nick Fury because it's Sam Jackson.
Right, it's got to be Sam Jackson Nick Fury.
Who is not a failed super soldier.
He is not a failed super soldier as of yet. Has been scratched by an alien cat.
Yes.
And apparently does not like triangle bread.
Oh, right.
That's mostly what we know.
Yes.
Has a cool pager.
I'd say probably Frozone. Like, there's only so much Nick Fury could do without calling in the Avengers, and I feel like calling in backup is outside the spirit of the competition of this fight.
Mm-hmm. that's
you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I could say Captain America. Like, then you get to like Captain America is the Avengers versus Fantastic Four,
mm-hmm.
and then eventually Avengers calls in everybody. Then, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I like that. All right, so next we have from the DC Arrowverse, you have the Green Arrow,
sure,
versus Casey Jones from TMNT, both played by Stephen Amell.
Oh, Casey Jones. That Stephen Amell was in the Michael Bay ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
the second one.
Casey Jones doesn't have superpowers. He has a hockey stick.
He's got a bunch of weapons
and a cool mask
and just a duffel bag of.
Like sport weapons.
Sport weapons.
Sporty. He's sporty.
He also has a determination to not fail.
So it's a jock versus an archer.
A bro versus a bro archer.
Wasn't the archer trained by the League of Shadows or Assassins or bad guys?
In some iterations, this
Arrowverse.
One he was in the Arrowverse he was trained by this other prisoner on that island that he was stuck on, but he was trained by someone who was trained in the League of Shadows. So
the island from what's the movie Double Team with Van Damme and
the basketball player.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, Rodman. Yeah, that same island.
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the Dr. Moreau.
Probably the archer. Probably Green Arrow because he's dealing with archery, and you just like sink a few feathers into Casey Jones and call it a done.
Yeah.
Like,
is there any chance he can like hockey stick shoot them back or anything?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Probably, one or two.
But I think there's a power level difference even between two street level guys.
Okay. All right. How about Volstagg, one of the Warriors 3 from Thor, versus the Punisher from Punisher Warzone.
Whoa.
Both played by Ray Stevenson.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah. He's almost doing it.
I think I'm gonna say 60-40 Punisher on this one because Punisher is meaner.
Mm-hmm.
And
Volstagg's like Asgardian.
He is. I believe the Punisher has the capability to bring down an Asgardian.
Yeah, that's fair. I can
maybe not Punisher Warzone Punisher.
I mean,
John
that was
Bernthal Punisher. I could absolutely believe that guy would kill an Asgardian.
Have you seen Warzone?
No.
I think you should.
Okay.
It's pretty.
That's the one that's kind of like generally gritty, being okay.
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah, it's a good one.
That's not the Mark. Was Mark Wahlberg the Punisher? He was Max Payne.
He was Max Payne.
That's it. I
Mark
get Max
Wahlberg
Payne and the Punisher pretty similar.
The Punisher.
Pretty confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a skeleton, bro.
Oh
my god.
This mob boss, bro. He just killed my wife.
I gotta kill all you guys. Okay.
I'm giving this to Punisher more because Volstagg is such a non-entity.
That's fair.
They killed him in Ragnarok and with so little fanfare, and Thor never mentions it.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Maybe he says like once, like Volstagg.
That's
it.
Yeah, because like the other guys died. Yeah, whatever. All right, next we have Ghost Rider versus Big Daddy from Kick-Ass 2, both played by Nicolas Cage.
Probably Ghost Rider. That one's pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, you got a satanic biker versus a guy versus not as Batman-y Batman.
Yeah.
No powers, no enhanced features.
A lot of weapons.
A lot of weapons.
A lot of money. Some money. A lot of
capability to use them, but I mean...
And a child that he does not want to leave behind.
True, but Ghost Rider has magic chains and fire and hellfire and can do the soul thing.
He can also pee fire.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, next. I'm not sure if you've seen this one. Do you know who Steve Montgomery is? From the movie Chronicle? Have you seen Chronicle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw Chronicle like over 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right, so Steve Montgomery versus the Human Torch, both played by Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, yeah. He gets struck by lightning in Chronicle, doesn't he?
No, they find like they find that weird hole in the ground, which has like a...
No, yeah, but how he dies is he gets struck by lightning when they're flying?
Yeah.
And it's implied that Dean DeHaan was the one who caused it.
Dane DeHaan definitely did.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. Yeah.
Yes.
But they could fly. They could technically like
psychics,
telekinesis.
Psychic stuff.
Yeah, they could do some pretty cool
hover
stuff.
cell phones around them so you have a convenient excuse for multiple camera angles in your found footage.
Oh, so cool.
Josh Trank.
So smart.
Michael, it's him versus who?
The Human Torch.
Oh, not Killmonger?
No.
Okay.
No, that would be too easy.
Yeah.
I wanted Trank versus Trank.
Trank match?
Yeah. Trank off.
Ooh.
Trank in the tank.
They kill each other, maybe? I don't know. From what I remember about Chronicle, Michael B. Jordan's character doesn't do a whole lot. He's
cool.
What's that?
He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool, but
like
he exists primarily to be... Is he the first one killed? By Dane DeHaan?
So there's the three kids, the three friends. He's the one who dies.
I thought there were 4 of them.
No, there's only 3.
Oh, okay.
It's Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, and that white dude. And then
one of the Amels, maybe.
No.
No, are you sure?
No.
Because they all look the same.
No, he looks more like a Canadian Chris Klein.
Oh, okay. Sure.
All right, anyway. All right, so...
I'm giving that 50-50. I don't care.
That's fair. Trank off. Ends in a duel. Classic. All right, next we have Robocop versus Rick Flagg.
Those movies are so boring. Might as well be a tranquilizer. Anyway, Robocop versus...
Rick Flagg.
Flagg.
Both played by Joel Kinnaman.
I don't think I saw the 2014 Robocop.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I watched, that was the year they did like 2 or 3 remakes of 80s movies.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the remake of
Total Recall.
Yeah. Which, if it wasn't called Total Recall, would have been a totally fine sci-fi dystopia movie.
Yeah, fine.
Been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Total Recall? Nah.
Nope.
Should have just called it, I remember before your wholesale. The original title. Just should have called it that. Be like, it's a different interpretation.
And
anyway.
It would work so much better, I agree.
Anyway. Probably RoboCop, because RoboCop doesn't get just,
Yeah.
Spoilers. He doesn't get spoiled.
Yeah, true. All right, next. Storm versus Catwoman. Both played by Halle Berry.
You know what happens to a cat when it's struck by lightning?
Right.
I mean...
Well, that wins.
That one's pretty easy.
All right, and last. Daredevil versus Batman. Both played by Mr. Benjamin Affleck.
That's an interesting one. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's an interesting one because I don't have an initial reaction in one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Batman kills.
That version of Batman does kill.
Allegedly, yeah.
What?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Because technically the Nightmare Universe.
He throws people back. He slams people face first onto wooden crates at a very high speed.
Michael Keaton pushes bombs in people's hands and throws them down an elevator shaft.
Yeah, but it's up to them to drop the bomb.
The elevator shaft is still going to get... If the bomb's not going to get you...
No, the explosion will cushion their fall.
Oh.
And there's no such thing as thermodynamics or conduction, so they don't have to worry about heat. I want to say Daredevil because I like Daredevil more as a character.
Yeah. But
Affleck's
Daredevil?
The cliche... No. The cliche is that Batman wins every fight because he's hyper-prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is kind of... lazy?
No.
Yeah, all right, Batman.
He's a friggin' ninja.
Yes. So is Daredevil, kind of.
Kind of.
He dated a ninja.
Well, he was also kind of trained by a ninja.
Yeah.
But it was a different ninja people, and
the hand versus the foot.
Yeah. Ninja Turtle bad guys trained Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Cal
Batman.
Bummer.
I just feel Batman can beat anybody. Like I think that not only is he hyper prepared, which is I know you say it's lazy, and that would be like, oh well, he was studying, but I think that he's pre-prepared.
Sure.
Is that a word?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Well,
pre-prepared.
I guess prepared is what.
I guess prepared is.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That you can just be paired?
Currently, I'm paired for most fights.
What if you plan for something after it happens? Does that mean you post-paired?
Oh yeah.
I
post-pair a lot of things.
I don't know if I'm gruntled with that answer.
I'm definitely whelmed. All right, let's get on to what we do here. So now what we do, like I said earlier.
I have one thing I want to ask you, actually.
Oh my goodness.
I found something.
You've never asked me a question.
I think I have once or twice when I'm trying to fill time.
Well,
not like
that's
now.
That's not a question.
I stumbled upon an article. I get a lot of targeted articles on my Google homepage. Most of them are garbage, where it's like you have to watch the most mind-bending sci-fi movie before they take it off Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's like The Titan. Like, this is trash.
Yeah.
But occasionally it's stuff like fans have a new theory about Star Wars. Have you heard of the bigger Luke theory?
The bigger Luke theory?
Yeah.
I've not.
So apparently in the original trilogy, you can tell in scenes when he's standing next to characters, Luke is in between Leia and Han. You know, he has to look up at Han. There's that, and on occasion you can see very clearly his height changes in comparison to other characters.
Okay.
Pretty standard stuff in movies. You know, you occasionally kind of like change an actor's height to get him to fit in the shot.
Sure.
And you're just like, you know what? People aren't going to necessarily notice before the internet. Now that the internet's out, everybody sees on everything. And because it's Star Wars, you have to spin everything out. And the theory is that there's a bigger Luke wandering around the original trilogy. Whether he was cloned, whether he was a product of the Force.
Now, are there a linkage of the scenes of these two Lukes that would suggest that? Like, big Luke is always in this specific scenes, or little Luke is the one who cut his hand off, or...
Not really as a like which scenes he's in, but the theory goes on to posit that sometimes maybe R2 would project Luke when he needed to.
Oh.
Or
I like this one already.
So stupid. One theory is that a bigger Luke only exists in the first half of Empire. And when Luke kills Vader in the cave, that is Luke Prime killing bigger Luke in Darth Vader's armor.
Oh, okay.
So that is literally
so that's why it's Luke's face
inside the helmet.
Okay. So not really thinking it out. People are not taking it very literally.
They are theory welding. They're taking a bunch of different stuff and trying to make a theory out of it.
Yeah, I've not heard that, and honestly, it just gives me no reason to rewatch all of those movies yet again.
Where does it rank in your universe of Star Wars theories?
Oh, pretty low.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty low.
We're talking low as in like a totem pole, like important.
No.
Oh,
no.
Low as in lowly ranked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Low as in like cream. like the cream runs to the top. Like, this is whatever sinks to the bottom.
Okay. The opposite of cream.
Yeah, whatever the opposite of cream is.
Chaff? You don't get chaff and cream. I don't know.
Yes, not.
I'm not a dairy farmer.
What is chaff?
Chaff is
that's what you need Gold Bond for, right?
It's the part of the wheat stalk that you don't use in the harvest.
Okay, you obviously don't know what cream is then. Let's move on to what we're doing. I'll tell you guys next week what I think about the big/small Luke theory as I revisit all of the Star Wars, looking for height differences, and why not? But you do know that I'm someone who loves a good theory.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a theory fanatic.
Yeah.
Haven't heard it. Currently don't subscribe to it, but we'll see. Anyway.
There's also the two Anakins theory, but that one's even worse.
Who's the second Anakin?
Anakin in...
Like one versus Hayden Christensen?
Anakin up to Revenge of the Sith is the first Anakin, and then Palpatine cloned Anakin and influenced him with dark side stuff, and then replaced him so that he would have like a pre-dark sided Anakin.
So where's the other one?
Dead.
Who killed him?
I don't know.
Well, that does.
It's not very well thought out.
Wait, which one married Padme?
I think bad Anakin.
Which one hates sand?
All Anakins?
Mm.
I think that's hard coded into his genetics.
Oh, that's just in there. That's in the DNA.
Yeah.
Like pretty eyes,
Yeah.
hate sand. All right. Why don't you get us caught up on where we are in the story and what we got to get done with the rest of the show?
Yeah, so as we normally do on Twitching UpStream, what we try is to expand on what we did on Talking UpStream. Here's the Google Doc we're working on for Sleeper Agent. In episode 35 of Talking UpStream, we had author Drayton Alan on, interviewed him for a while, came up with a story where people got chips in their head so that they could make package deliveries while they sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of spun that into a cyberpunk story about in the 2070s. Sahara Corporation runs everything kind of, and in order to maneuver around the megacity, the poor people take on courier positions so they can work while they sleep, earn a little bit more money. This character has some issues initially delivering a package, realizes that he is supposed to deliver it to a crime boss, and eventually does. Bad news is the package is a bomb, winds up killing the crime boss's kid. He starts getting chased by a bunch of assassins. That he meets up with his buddy, who's like an IT person who helps him out by hacking people and making sure he's kind of safe, relatively unharmed. And then we realize that after he gets captured, the crime boss is still alive. And the initial cause for this was that the crime boss realized the IT guy was getting in on his hacked courier job, targeted him, got his kid. So now the IT guy targeted the crime boss's kid in revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then Act 3, we have just some rough story points that I think we can kind of like flesh out a little bit more.
Okay.
So leading up to this, the main character was stuck on airplane mode, but the IT person reconnected them by duplicating their ID. Goes to try and withdraw cash, realizes that he wasn't on airplane mode at all. Crime boss turned it off so that he could trace him. He gets caught while on the line. We get the reveal about the crime boss is still alive. And then we get the whole kind of exposition scene. Crime boss realizes that he's not wholly responsible, but he's going to take him out anyway. Leading out of that, a hacked agent gets rehacked by the IT guy and helps him free it. Let's see. And that's when we finally get the part where the main character allows the IT guy to control his body.
Okay.
Similar to the movie Upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, let's see. Oh man, we had a lot of stuff. Okay,
I know. Well, what do you think we got to work on?
We had the final little confrontation between the IT person wanting to establish their own crime syndicate in the power vacuum because they successfully killed the crime boss.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to figure out how the main character gets that final reversal on the IT guy, because what we had for the ending, and because we do work better where we know the ending. We go about halfway and we try and figure out the ending, and then let that go from there. And we figure that the ending winds up with the main character getting a bunch of money, but winding up where they mostly started.
Okay.
So, we had a few scenes planned out. We had IT person kind of offering main character a role in his new organization where they are skimming fractions of dollars off the top. We had the IT person and main character getting into a scuffle. And we needed a reason for it to seem like the main character was going to lose, only for him to reverse it, put the IT person into a sleeper helmet, and then walk them into traffic.
I think, okay, so one idea that comes to mind first is we don't really have our main character having any sort of characterization. They don't really have like a hobby or something. So I think that if we give them something, that might be able to come in handy later on. Sometimes I do think that's force writing, where like when our main character all of a sudden is like they just throw a knife and they're good. And you're like, well, I wonder why they're good at that. That's probably going to come back somewhere.
Yeah.
But we could do something like that, where either this person is working on like a VR program, and maybe they slip the IT person into some weird VR thing, which sounds stupid. But I say that out loud. There could be because ultimately what we want is the IT person who's trying to be the new big bad.
Yeah.
We want them to die.
That was the initial thing. Yeah.
And we want our main character to come off only monetarily better.
Yes.
Right? And we figured out that the best way to do that is to get the password from the IT person.
Yes, it's stored on the back of the picture of their kid they keep in their wallet.
Right.
And we wanted the IT person to die because if they were the hero of the story, their story would have been over when they kill the crime boss.
Okay. So we either need somebody else that wants this information, and then that way, like, all right, so say that there's a third party that knows about the password in the wallet, and then IT person falls into some lava, sure. Hypothetically, the old hypothetical lava.
Yeah,
and then the third party is like, oh, that was the only way to get all that money. And then main character is like, oh, well, I guess I'll go back to my loft. But when they walk away, they reach in their pocket and they had,
what if there's
fenced the wallet?
What if there's a recurring enforcer character from the crime boss, like their top enforcer or something, who the one who's waiting in his apartment when he first comes back, and he keeps getting beaten or defeated by the main character.
Okay.
And at the end, we think that he has either come out on top by killing IT guy and then is going to turn on a main character, or I'm not sure how I feel about the supposedly competent bad guy who keeps getting one-upped by the main character.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how the one-uppage happens.
Yeah.
Because the first time is inadvertent. Like,
yes.
Our enforcer really does not respect the thought process of our main character and kind of gets jumped. If we have that enforcer coming back, say 2 more times, we could maybe, if we added a role where if it's the enforcer of the original mob boss, right? And once mob boss is gone, IT person is kind of taking over. So maybe there's kind of using what you're saying, like there's like a rift between enforcer and IT person where you kind of, I don't know how to work that in as far as the scene goes, but you kind of get the feeling that if IT person wasn't there, enforcer would have taken over, and he really would just take out IT person, but just can for some reason.
Enforcer and IT person are on good terms?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
But enforcer would have taken IT person out previously if there was there's a reason that he hasn't done it already.
Technically, he's enforcer's boss now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he wasn't his boss, enforcer would be in charge.
Okay, because we did it. Yeah, we had the idea of the IT person taking over the syndicate.
That's what I'm saying.
Or he's filling the gap.
Yeah, and now he's in charge of the enforcer, who would have taken over in succession, but now something.
We need a reason why enforcer doesn't just kill IT person.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe he's got maybe IT person has a dead man switch where it's like, if I die, you're on airplane mode forever.
Well, I mean, we could definitely do that. We could also just be like, IT person is like, look, I pay your stuff. Like, I have all the codes. I have all the money. Like, I have all of it. So if, you could try, but I have the passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That puts them in a bit more of it's a less violent position of power.
Yeah.
Which seems like it fits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think the enforcer would be like, I would just kill you, but I need this. I need to at least have money.
Yeah.
or something. And then at the end, and I guess the enforcer doesn't really know that he's got the password in his wallet or something.
Yeah.
He's not a computer person.
Yeah, he's not a computer person.
No. He's a blue collar thug, dude. He's just
Oh, because IT person has all of the crime boss's passwords.
right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All the organizations.
Right.
Passwords, info, etc.
So he can't just take over because he would really do nothing.
Yeah.
And even all the guys are dead. Almost all the hench people are dead because of that one scene where he leaves that place. So, so we kind of need him for funding and for everything else.
And then, how does Enforcer come into the final confrontation?
I think that maybe okay. So I guess my first thought is that Enforcer is nonstop looking for main character, right?
Okay.
Because he maybe even needs his help to get the password away from IT person so he can take over. I don't know about that. Put that in the back of your mind. But I'm thinking that Enforcer is coming back a couple times to, fight main character or to, bring him along.
Yeah.
But he snaps in a 3-way conversation and just throws IT person off a building.
Okay.
Or into some I need the body to go away.
Yeah.
Because then main character could be like, he had all the passwords on his purse, literally in his pocket.
Yeah.
And, Enforcer's like, well, he's engulfed by more eels. I can't get in there. Or
the world's been taken over by eels below a certain elevation.
Yeah. It's like, well, crap, this lower half is inside of a hippopotamus right now. I can't go in there. Whatever.
Those famous cartel hippos that moved north.
Don't act like you don't know about that.
Oh,
That's
I know.
Real.
Yeah. So we had an original idea for a main character being responsible for the IT person's death.
Yeah.
Where they ran into the Oasis headquarters to scuffle.
Yeah.
And he put on one of the helmets to blend in, like in Batman Begins. And then when IT person thinks he found the right one, main character puts a helmet on and enters him into courier mode.
Yeah.
And then orders him to take a route that makes him run through traffic or something. And he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, I that's not bad.
We could still have some variation of that with the Enforcer as kind of the third party. They're both trying to avoid him.
Okay, yeah. I think that I do like the idea of the Enforcer just having enough, killing IT person, or being the reason that IT person's body is gone.
Yeah.
And then the reveal from main character is like, look, he had all this stuff on him. I was trying to get that anyway. And then Enforcer's like, well, I got nothing. I guess I'll go back to West Virginia.
I'll move sideways. I'll transition sideways to a different crime.
I'll go back to my dad's coal mine in West Virginia.
My nitro coal mine.
And then
nitro
at the end,
coal brew.
Yeah, and then at the end, main character, just does a thing where he's like looking at something, and it's like, oh, that's the password the whole time. I don't know about that. What are your thoughts?
I really like the idea of the Batman Begins style ending, but I also think I like the idea of the main character pulling one over the Enforcer by being like, he had the passwords on him.
Okay, so we can still merge those two. Say that the Enforcer is in a room full of people with these robotic helmets, and he thinks he knows who main character is, and he just grabs him and just chucks him into like a baler, or a people grinder, or the Soylent Green machine, or like a smoothie, but I guess more like a juicer,
like a person juicer.
Yeah, a human juicer.
Human juicer.
Yeah. I don't know what this thing is. What do you think it is? I like the idea of the Enforcer being the one to ruin the body and then sulking away. Because he's really the only person left in the mob.
Right. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of
how... Or we just set someone on fire. Or... I don't know. But I feel like there's got to be a reason that the Enforcer can't get the money.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
I mean, I'm trying to think of if the Enforcer is not used to the world of careers, then You know what I mean?
I get, well, so far.
So, yes. Then we could have that moment where it's like, it's the enforcers chasing both of them, and they both are like both main character and the IT guy both put helmets on to try and hide.
Okay.
And maybe without the IT person's knowledge, the main character gave him their like defaced helmet. And so the enforcer's like, oh, it's just like stabs him, and then he runs off. And maybe because he can't quite see through the helmet, because they're not designed to be seen through necessarily.
Right.
Maybe that's when he runs into traffic or runs off the lip into a baler. Or
the enforcer just runs into traffic?
No, IT guy thought he was hiding. He gets stabbed.
Yeah.
He runs from enforcer, and because he doesn't quite know where he's going, or the helmet gets knocked off or something, IT guy runs into traffic, being chased by the enforcer.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I like that, and he just gets hit by this like some kind of just huge vehicle that just disintegrates him.
Yeah. Garbage truck.
But like
a debris-eating garbage truck. So it's got the roller on the front with like spikes, and it just chews up debris on the roads.
Yeah, like a road lawnmower.
Yes.
And just all it tops and everything. People leave on the streets. This is probably some sort of future. Yeah, and they like any kind of like small compact used cars that are just left in the street. This thing just grinds it up, and like a leaf or like one of those tree grinders just like spits it into the car behind it.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And like a car hits IT person, then we get a little Meet Joe Black where like he goes like, ping ping ping,
yeah,
and then and you're like, oh man, he's dead. And then he gets like ran over by like a steamroller, and it's like, oof, that's really bad.
Like Naked Gun at the end of Naked Gun, the one with the marching band.
Yeah, but then like that big street sweeper chopper thing comes and just grinds it up.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, oh no. And then main character's like, dude, he had all those passwords just right in his wallet.
Oh, he had all the passwords.
Yeah, and then the enforcer's like, shoot, I gotta get out of here. I gotta take I get that hover train back to West Virginia because I'm all out of money. And then as he's at the train station, right, the enforcer, then he's like, one ticket to West Virginia, please. And the person behind the counter is like, all right, it's $18. And he goes to reach for his wallet, and his wallet's gone too. And he's like, wait, what happened to my wallet? And then we cut back to main character, and he's got like 4 wallets. And one of them has the photograph with passwords on the back.
Yeah. I don't know if he needs to be a pickpocket as far as like a wallet.
He has to get the wallet off of IT person.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where all of the main money codes are.
Yeah.
So we need a way to get that off of his person without the audience and enforcer knowing. And then we also need the reveal of sorts.
Yeah.
So do that.
Okay.
So do that.
MC pickpocketed.
Well,
wallet.
If you don't like the pickpocket stuff, that's fine.
No, I think you're right. He does need some way to get the wallet out of IT person's.
But then we also need to figure out a way to put that as a characterization into this.
Yes.
So he needs to be like maybe a street magician during the day.
Does he knows who the crime boss is when he has the intuition when he realizes the package is not delivered. Like, oh, this is for a dangerous person.
Yeah.
Want him to have a minor, like the reason that he's got social credit issues is because he was a minor street criminal. Like when he was younger, he was like, when your parents just tell you to go out, you don't have room in your pod for an entire family.
So maybe he used to work for this mob boss.
Minimally,
and then got like excommunicated, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want."
Or he tried to make it straight.
Okay, cool, yeah,
yeah.
Or like did some prison time or something. Yeah, that's fine. I like that. And then he's like, "I don't want to see these guys again."
Yeah,
and that's why he's like so kind of like aloof about going in there and stuff.
Yeah,
all right, I'm cool. I like that.
A little bit of characterization for him.
Yeah, so he's like a real Paul Rudd kind of criminal. So he used to work for low-level stuff for this crime boss years ago.
To the point where he never met the crime boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Just doing like whatever petty crime boss like paper route stuff is, like stealing newspapers and delivering the wrong address, taking candy from babies and such as. But he's really good at like just stupid thief stuff. Like, he can pick lock and he can take your watch and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's cool. So we have now a little bit of characterization about him.
Mm-hmm.
We have the motive for IT person's death. We have the enforcer reveal / I guess comedic exit.
Yeah.
Now we also need the reveal to the audience of the main character having his password and what that means.
Yeah. Does he just like use his phone and then go on and like go to a banking app and just log in, or?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about maybe him like walking to,
or we don't even need to see him get the money. We just need him to pull out the picture of the kid and we're like, who's that? And he turns it over and it's like password 234.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking not necessarily him getting the money, but maybe him seeing how much money he just got. Like I almost like the idea of him, scrambling around, finding like whatever change he has to get a cab or something to the mob boss's house, which is now just demolished, full of dead bodies. Sure. And he's stepping over dead bodies, and he sits down in the office, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm the new crime boss," like as kind of like a joke, Sure. And he like clicks on the computer, and it's like, "Enter password," and he's like, "Oh." Then he goes to the guy's wallet, and he sees that the girl's name is on her like shirt or something, and he's like, "Deirdre," and it's like, "No," and he turns it over, and it's just like 2345, and he tries that, and it's like. Access, access grant or whatever, and it's like current balance, like 12 neo billion dollars.
Yeah, neo dollars,
neo bits.
12 billion cash.
1,200 million cash.
It's just called cash.
Cash bits. Cash
bits. Bit cash.
Bit cash. It's honestly, it really hits on nostalgia. It really gets back to those WW3 kids when they're like, "Oh, you remember paper money? That's cute." I think that's. I think it's a light, comedic, weird, sci-fi, almost heist movie.
Yeah.
I think I think it's cool. I think we just kind of build out the universe a little bit, which makes sense. I don't know if we actually have any details on like when and where this is.
2070X.
Yeah, probably West Des Moines.
Probably.
That's where I think that's the new Silicon Valley.
You were said East Coast for some reason. I don't know why. I had the idea of East Coast, but it doesn't have to be.
I think it would make sense. I mean, East Coast has like the most, I guess, technology faster. And,
yeah.
The weird thing about like Delaware, which I found out, as I was living there, is Delaware has kind of the same population density as the United States.
Huh.
Roughly,
okay.
So what they do is, because it's so small but also kind of the same, they send all of the stuff to Delaware first. Like we had gas cards first, we had debit cards first, and they kind of tested out to see like what bigger scale stuff would be. So it would make sense that the East Coast would get sleeper agents first.
And East Coast is already like a mega city, kind of like just the urbanization there is dense that you can drive within city for as long as the highway goes.
Absolutely.
From like Maine down to Florida, almost.
Yeah. So it's city and then some pretty trees.
Yeah. So that makes sense as like the place that we would set this.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's cool. 2071.
Sure. 20XT7.
Yeah. All right, I'm into that, and I guess we don't really need much else. I guess the only other things we would need would be like the detail work, like how we know that our character is, like an ex-criminal, like how we show that. Because the Fifth Element style, is the most obvious. Yes. Where it's like, you got this, Bill do.
If I was going to do an outline of this, I would go through and I always, when I do an outline, I tend to make a numbered list just because it's easy to make sub listings underneath that.
Sure.
So all the main numbered ones are the plot points in order. Like, main character wakes up, or main character meets with friend at a diner, discusses job. 2, main character gets ready for delivery, embarks on delivery, does some standard delivery stuff, world building. 3, main character gets mugged. And then once I have all the main plot points, I go through and I do a sublist. So it goes, number, letter, Roman numeral, just like further down, nest those details as best you can.
Okay.
So that would be the next step I would take if I was outlining this. And then that makes it very easy to be like, I had an idea where we need to plant the enforcer's presence. Go back up to plot point 6 when he goes to the headquarters. Individual moment B, I. Enforcer is there, mentions guy returning.
Yeah.
We've established that the enforcer knows him. He used to be a minor criminal in his organization. There you go.
All right, so the next step, what we would do in this, if we wanted to develop this further, like Dylan said, we kind of work out the plot points. Then we would kind of flesh out the characters a little more, make sure that they all make sense, that there's a reason for them. And then I guess we would kind of work on like a mini script just to kind of get an understanding of what these characters sound like. So, I mean, yeah, if you've been watching the last couple episodes or have tuned in for the last few, then you have seen us kind of complete a story that we're calling Sleeper Agent, which is an interesting futuristic pseudo-dystopian idea about why don't we use bodies while they're sleeping? They are just machines,
Yeah.
And only your brain needs to sleep, really. I guess your body does. Your body doesn't need to. Yeah, so if you want to check the rest of those, the show links of the show with Drayton Allen, where we created this idea, will be in the show links, and then you can also find other episodes to see how we got from that weird idea to almost a fleshed out whole program. Yeah, good job, dude.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, right on. So what do you work on next time?
So I've been going through our little document of all of our ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas we had was the apartment complex paranoia. Do you remember that one? It was when we had David Wechter and Bruce Kimmel from who co-wrote The Faculty.
Dude, that was
episode.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
Episode 33.
Yeah.
And you had the idea where a character in an apartment complex has a mind-reading device that just passively collects thoughts from nearby.
Yeah.
And you picked out 2 main ones. That someone's developing the exact same thing he is, and that someone has just committed a murder.
Yeah.
And we didn't use someone's developing the same device, but it was a really interesting closed setting murder mystery thing in an apartment building.
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
All right.
And I thought that would be an interesting one because we have like the 3 acts, and we have kind of a little, you can do like a Lady in Water style apartment complex where everybody's quirky and weird.
I like that.
And
that's a really fun episode too to revisit. So
yes,
those guys had some really cool stories.
It was fun.
So yeah, if you want to check that out, you can see that on obviously our YouTube channel. We'll also put show links to that one in this episode and the next couple because we're going to work that out.
Yeah.
What do we call that?
Apartment complex paranoia.
Not a great name.
That's what I have.
It definitely seems like a name you'd make up.
The other idea was the other idea we could have chosen was shopping mall Hunger Games.
Oh,
which they said was a great concept and great setting, but not a story. And
I like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we need to figure out kind of a story for that and turn it into a claymation, just all out battle. But all right, so that's it for this episode. We have completed another program. So you can watch all 42 episodes of Talking UpStream on our YouTube channel. You can also find the audio of those if you just go into whatever you're using and type in Talking UpStream, or honestly, while you're there, just type in Some Nobodies and listen to all that weird stuff that Dylan writes that I say some of. And we have a cast of amazing voice actors that say the rest of the words. And Dylan, he says some stuff too. But yeah, if you want to hear any of those, look out for Silicon Angels. You can also check out CYOP, the Create Your Own Podventure Appeal, which is a really cool choose your own adventure style thing where you listen to episode 1 and then you decide where you want to go after that. You can make this device, and this device tells you what your body needs. But the problem is that you don't really know how to interpret that. So I'm still very impressed with that. So great job on that too. But yeah, honestly, if you want to see anything, just type in Some Nobodies and whatever you're doing. What you got?
I don't know. Follow me on Twitter at Vorpalwords.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like writing.
Yeah. I was going to promote some of our shows, but I don't know. Just go to Some Nobodies and look at
drama
stuff.
in the podcasting world.
Yeah. So sometimes we review movies, and who knows where that's going to go.
We will have a better than just discussing movies podcast in the works
in
2022.
Oh boy, and that's coming.
It's going to be more than just talking about movies.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep on the look. We got buns in the
Stay tuned for literally anything, and if you want to see or say anything, just put in the comments. But until next guys, next time, guys. Well, also that. Until next guys. I've been Zach. He's been great.
You know who I am. Bye, everybody.